Good morning, class 9. Welcome back to the online session of SST. And today we are going to discuss about the climate control. Some of the points related with climate control we have already discussed in earlier session. That is related with the latitude and altitude. Okay, we have already understood how latitude and altitude of a place has influenced the climate control. Now let us understand about pressure and wind. When we talk about the pressure and wind, the two important points, that is high pressure belt and low pressure belt, has to be understood. Okay, so firstly let us understand this one only. Okay, the wind flows from high pressure belt to low pressure belt. This is something that is very important to be understood. You always remember that the wind always blows from high pressure belt to low pressure belt. Now let us understand what is high pressure belt and low pressure belt. Okay, now here is the diagram with the help of which I am going to make you understand. Okay, suppose this is the earth. Okay, this is our globe. Okay, and this is the 0 degree latitude. That means the ray of the sun directly falls on 0 degree latitude. This we have already discussed in the earlier session. Okay, and this is the sun. When the sun rays falls on the earth, the maximum rays of the sun falls on the 0 degree latitude. That means this region. Okay, and it will hit this portion of the earth, that is near the equatorial region. Okay, this part will be heated up, and whatever portion of the air, that is the air mass is there, that will rise up because it will get heated up and it will become dry. When it get dried up, it will rise up. Okay, so the vacuum is created, that is called the low pressure belt, because the vacuum is created and it will pull the nearby air. So the air which is in the higher pressure belt, okay, that will be attracted towards the low pressure belt. So it will pull it and the air starts moving from high pressure belt to low pressure belt to cover the vacuum area. Okay, so in this way the wind moves from high pressure belt towards the low pressure belt. Okay, now let us understand high pressure belt. Now as we have already discussed about low pressure belt, now we need to understand high pressure belt. Now we know that the sun rays directly falls on the equator, but it does not falls directly or towards the pole. There is the slanting rays of the sun. Okay, so these region mostly remains cooler in comparison to the equatorial region. That is why the air out here is in maximum. That means the dense air is there. Okay, density of air is high. Okay, so that is why when the air becomes lighter here, it rises up and it creates vacuum. That time the heavy air flows towards the low pressure belt. Okay, so there is a circular movement of the air. Now this we can understand with the help of another diagram which I have drew here. Okay, so let us understand from here also. Suppose this part, okay, this portion from here to here, this is your equatorial region. Okay, and this is the 0 degree latitude. So this is the region where low pressure is created. So this is your low pressure belt. So this is the place where sun rays directly falls and heats up the area. But the sun rays are slanting towards the poles. Suppose these are the poles, so it is slanting. Okay, so it will not heat up the area as much as it heats the equatorial region. So what happens is that the motion of the air blows in different way. Now from here we can understand that when the air gets lighter, it rises up. At a certain point it becomes heavier and cooler. Okay, at that time it settles down on the surface of the earth in this way. Okay, when it settles down here, okay, from here again the low pressure is here, it is created. So the from the high pressure belt, the wind will move towards the low pressure belt. Okay, so the air which has rise up and settled down towards the high pressure, okay, after cooling down it settles down towards the high pressure and again it moves towards the low pressure. So there is a circular movement of the air. So in this way it moves. Okay, so let us understand in contrast with our country. Okay, friends, now let us understand the climate of India. Okay, now when we talk about the climate of India, the climate of India is governed by the following atmospheric conditions which we have already discussed. Okay, these are the pressure and surface wind, upper air circulation, and western cyclone disturbances and the tropical cyclone. So these are the atmospheric conditions that influence the climate of our country. Okay, now let us understand this with the help of diagram. Okay, when we talk about India, India is in the region of northeasterly wind. Now here lies India. Okay, with the help of diagram we can understand in a better way. Okay, this is the place where India lies, and this is 0 degree latitude, that is equator. That means it is above the equator and it lies in the northern hemisphere towards the east. Okay, that is why when the wind blows from the northeast, that is why we say that the country lies in the northeasterly wind zone. Why it is called northeasterly? Because the wind is blowing from the northeast. Okay, when we talk about easterly, that means the wind is blowing from east. Okay, you have to remember this. When we talk about northeasterly, means that the wind is blowing from northeast. Okay, so when the wind is blowing from northeast, that is why it is called northeasterly, and our country lies in that zone. Okay, the next point is the wind blowing south gets deflected to the right due to the Coriolis force and moves towards the equatorial low pressure area. Now from here you can understand that when the wind is blowing from the northeast towards the equator, why it is blowing from northeast towards the equator? Because the wind which lies here, as we have already understood that there is a high pressure belt. So we have already discussed that the wind blows from high pressure belt towards the low pressure belt. But why it is diverse? Why it is deflected? Why while coming towards the equator, why it is getting diverse? Now you can see with the arrow is diverging towards the right. Now why it is getting diverse? Because the main reason behind this is the Coriolis force. Okay, Coriolis force. Why? And what is Coriolis force? Coriolis force is the force which is related with the rotation of the earth. Okay, when the earth rotates, it generates the force, and because of that force, the wind direction it gets deflected towards the right. Okay, from the high pressure belt, the wind is flowing this way and it is diverging towards the right. This is about the northern hemisphere. From the southern hemisphere also, the high pressure belt wind is blowing towards the low pressure belt. Okay, and it is also getting to diverge towards the right. And the main reason behind its diversion is the Coriolis force. Okay, now you have understood this. Now generally this wind which is coming from the northeast carries little moisture as they blows over land. Now you know that the northern portion in the north of India, you can see there is China. Okay, and above it there are continental land masses. Okay, that means there are huge area which is covered by land and the water bodies are very less. So the wind which blows from the northeast, they blow over the land, and that is why it does not carry much moisture. Okay, so since it does not have moisture, that means it will cause very little rainfall. Okay, and if it is so, then India should have been the arid region, because without the water the plants doesn't grow. Okay, so India would have been arid region, but it isn't so. Now why it is not like that? Okay, so we'll understand why India is not arid, since it is not receiving the good amount of rainfall if this factor is there. Okay, but it is not likely to happen like that. India is getting the good amount of rainfall. From where it is getting and how it is getting, we will understand now. Okay, students, now let us understand, though India lies in the northeasterly wind zone, okay, but still it is having a good amount of rainfall, because the wind which blows from the northeast bring very little rainfall, and if it was so, India would be the desert region, but it isn't so. Let us see why. Okay, the pressure and the wind condition over India is unique. There is a unique combination of pressure zone in India, okay, and the flow of wind. Okay, so let us see why it is unique. Okay, let us understand about the winter season first. Okay, during winter there is a high pressure area in the north of Himalayas. Cold dry wind blows from these regions to the low pressure area over the ocean towards the south. From this diagram, let us understand this. Okay, this diagram you can see in your book also, so that you can have a clear picture about it. Okay, this is the diagram of January. Okay, and it will show you where the low pressure is created and how the wind blows. Okay, so during winter there is a high pressure area in the north of the Himalayas. So this is your high pressure zone. Okay, because this is our country India, and towards the north there is Himalayas, and above Himalayas in the north there is a high pressure belt. Okay, in the month of winter. So the cold dry wind blows from this region towards the low pressure area over the ocean towards the south. So with the help of this arrow, this is the arrow, okay, which shows the surface wind, okay, which is blowing from the north towards the equatorial region, that is towards the south. Okay, and while blowing it has to pass over the ocean region and finally it reaches the equatorial region. So when it blows from that place, that is from the north, it brings the very cold wind, that is very cold and dry wind, chilly cold wind. Okay, so our country does not experience very cold in this month because the Himalayas blocks the chilly cold wind coming from the north. Okay, so it will prevent us from facing that cold weather condition. Okay, so this is the plus point of Himalayan region, which is lying towards the north of our country. Okay. So this is the first point. Now let us understand about summer. In summer, the low pressure area is developed over the interior Asia. That means this is our country, okay, and towards the interior part of our Asia, okay. What happens is that there is a low pressure created. You know that towards the west of our country there lies the Thar Desert, and above the Himalayan region in the China border, okay, and you'll find that there is a place where there is no vegetation. That means there is an arid land, okay, and deserts are there in Mongolia, okay. So those regions becomes very hot during summer, and it will be the place where the low pressure area is created. Okay, low pressure belt get created out there because the sand get heated very fast and the low pressure is created. Okay, so what happens is that this causes a complete reversal of direction of winds during summer. Okay, and air moves from the high pressure over the southern Indian Ocean in the southeastern direction, crosses the equator and turns right towards the Indian subcontinent, and these winds are known as southwest monsoon wind. Now let us understand with that diagram. Now, as I said that in the northern side of the Asian continent, you'll find that the low pressure is created. On the western part of our country is also low pressure created. Now, where the western part of our country, you know that in this region there the Thar Desert lies, and we know that the Thar Desert is a place which is very hot during summer, so obviously it will be low pressure out there. Okay, and on the northern side you have seen Mongolia is there, and some desert regions are there which also gets heated up very fast during summer. Okay, and then what happens is that the low pressure is created. Okay, so the huge portion of this land will attract the wind from the south. Now how it happens, let us understand with the help of diagram. When the low pressure is created, the wind which was blowing towards the west, okay, from the tropical region. But what happens when the low pressure is created, it will attract the wind. So while moving towards the equator, suddenly it reaches the equator and then it gets diverged towards the Indian subcontinent. Okay, so you can see that there is a complete reversal in the direction of wind. Before it was blowing from south towards the west, and after crossing this it has got diverged. Okay, it has been complete reversal. It is blowing now from the west towards the east. Okay, but since it is blowing from this direction, we call it as the southwest direction of wind. Okay, when it blows from southwest, it carries the moisture from the ocean and reaches our subcontinent, that is Indian subcontinent. Okay, and that time it causes the rainfall. Okay, this is the main reason why our country received huge amount of rainfall during the summer season. Okay, in the month of June, and you know that till today also you have been noticing, you have been watching in the news that the rainfall is occurring everywhere. Okay, and the main cause is the southwest monsoon wind. We also call this wind as a southwest monsoon wind. Why? Because it is blowing from the southwest direction. Okay, and this is the wind that has been causing the rainfall in our country. Okay, now let us understand another point. Now let us understand about the upper air circulation. Okay, and the upper air circulation in this region is dominated by westerly flow. Okay, westerly flow, and the main component of this flow is jet stream. Okay, the westerly flow is there of the wind, and the main component of this westerly flowing wind is the jet stream. Now let us understand what is a jet stream. Okay, these are the narrow belt of high altitude, that is above 12,000 meter. Okay, westerly wind in the troposphere. Now you can see from the picture. Okay, these are the jet stream which is flowing towards the east. Okay, from the west. Okay, and these are above 1200 meter. That means you can see it flows at a very high altitude. Okay, and especially in the troposphere. Okay, and the speed varies from about 110 kilometer per hour in summer and to about 184 kilometer per hour in winter. That means the speed is more in winter season. Okay, compared to the summer season. And these are the jet stream. Okay, jet streams. And it especially flows in the tropical region. Okay. Jet streams are located approximately over 27 degree to 30 degree north latitude, that is in this region. Okay, understood? Now there are known as the subtropical westerly jet stream. Why? Because they are located in the subtropical region. That is why they are also known as the subtropical westerly jet stream. Okay. Now another point is jet stream over India. Okay. Over India, jet stream blows south of Himalayas all throughout the year except in summer. Besides summer season, throughout the year this stream blows over India, and that is towards the south of Himalayas. Okay, and this is the main reason why the western cyclonic disturbances experienced by our country. Okay, now in the north and in the northwestern part of our country, the western cyclonic disturbances are caused, and the main reason behind this is the westerly flow of this jet stream. Okay, now in summer the subtropical westerly jet stream moves north of the Himalayas with the apparent movement of the sun. Okay, with the apparent movement of the sun, this jet stream suddenly moves upward. Okay, that means towards the north of Himalayas. Okay, and there are another jet stream, that is the easterly jet stream, which is also called the subtropical easterly jet stream, which blows over the peninsular part of India and approximately over 14° north latitude. That means between this region. Okay, between this region it blows, and the name of this jet stream is the subtropical easterly jet stream. So these are the jet stream which blows over India. Okay, students, I hope you have understood about the concept, okay, of today, and I want you all to revise the concept once again. Okay, so with this I would like to end the session here only, and in the next session we will be continuing with our chapter. Okay, so with this I would like to take a leave from the session. You all take care, stay safe. Thank you.